Hello and good day, everyone. I'm doing this video about the clear quartz crystal. It is so important to know how the quartz crystal can work and also help you in your manifestation when you are performing healing or magic, or just carrying it around you to manifest the things that you desire. The quartz crystal is, and I'm talking about the clear quartz crystal. I'm actually going to be going into many different varieties of them. But the clear quartz crystal is actually a silicon dioxide, and it crystallizes in the forms of masses, grains, druses, and prismatic hexagonal crystals. It is also known as rock crystal. There's many varieties of crystals, including rose quartz, smoky quartz, citrine, and amethyst. They are all forms of crystal, and I will have videos about these other stones in the future. So the cool thing about the clear quartz crystal is that it has two ways of activating. So one way is in order to activate the quartz crystal, we use piezoelectric and also pyroelectric properties. And the polarity of the quartz crystal will change when it is either subjected to pressure or heat, as well as when it is held within the hand. The tip, normally positive and receiving energy, will then change and become negative. This emits energy that will radiate from the tip or from an edge. These properties support the amplification, the focusing, storage, transfer, and transformation of energy. And many of you may have had a quartz watch. Well, the quartz watch will actually have a piece of clear quartz in it. And because it has these piezoelectric or the pyroelectric properties, what happens is they use the quartz crystal and quartz watches to keep the watch going in a circuitry. So what happens is we can imprint certain energies into the quartz, and it will carry that through. So it is pretty interesting. And that's why they call it quartz watch, because they actually have imprinted a circuitry in it. So the quartz can be used to dispel static electricity and can provide for conversion and redirection of energy toward a beneficial state. So if you find that you get affected by static electric energy, or your hair starts to float in the air from the static, or you're getting a lot of shocks from static electricity, try carrying a quartz crystal and you'll see how well it dispels that energy. It also produces a naturally balanced, solid state energy field, modifying the energy available in accordance with the understanding of the user. So when we use quartz crystal in magic, we use the pyroelectric energy as well as the piezoelectric, and we will hold it in our left hand, and then in our right hand, and then we'll actually rub the crystals together until it heats up, thinking about the things that we want to put into the crystal. And it is believed that by doing that, the quartz crystal will draw the energy and the manifestation of what you want. It will carry that wish within the crystal. It will keep that wish purified and activated until it comes to you. And that's one of the reasons why it is so magical to use in magic. So the quartz crystal can be used to amplify both body energy and its healing, as well as thoughts. They can assist in the creation of power and can provide for clarity in thinking, to enable thoughts to more effectively influential matter. Quartz is said to bring the energy of the stars to the soul, and traditionally, the natural quartz crystal was said to both harmonize and align human energies, thoughts, consciousness, emotions with the energies of the universe, and to make these greater energies available to humanity. The natural tendency of quartz is for harmony, and it's recognized as a stone of power. The quartz crystal is the connection between the physical dimension and the dimensions of the mind, and it can be used to communicate with other minerals, plants, animals, and intelligent forces outside of the physical dimensions. In early times, when all things were thought to be conscious parts of the greater living consciousness, the quartz crystal was believed to synchronize the individual and total consciousness with that of the heavens and the higher realms of existence, and also to connect with advanced life forms. The quartz crystal can be used to facilitate both speaking with and receiving information from the spiritual and otherworldly masters, teachers, and healers. It can also be used to transform thoughts into sound, producing the vibration associated with the thought and affecting the environment with its discharged energy. And that's one thing that I do want to talk about, because a lot of people don't really understand how working with stones works. And I've seen videos and other guru teachings that say that stones and crystals do not have any power or can do anything for us. Well, that's really something that I disagree with. Everything that is tangible has matter and vibration, and each stone that we use in our work has a vibration. And when we activate the stone, especially let's use the quartz crystal for example, and we rub that in between our hands and heat it up, we are amplifying its vibration and frequency. So when we carry that stone within us, or not within us, but with us, in our pocket or wear it, that vibration and frequency is an added vibration and frequency that we have put into our own biorhythm. And our biorhythm is our aura. So when we carry that with us, it will add certain vibrations and frequencies. It heightens it, as well as connects us to the imprints that we put inside of it. So the imprinting that we put in the quartz crystal or other stones that we work with also will add to the vibration of the stone. So on a scientific level, just having anything within 4 feet of us will heighten, or it will dispel our energy. So when we use crystals for healing or manifestations in our ritual work, we are heightening and adding to our own vibrational frequency for things to manifest. And a lot of the stones will have a frequency that will be similar to emotions, or even the same frequency of certain chakras in our body, or even the different frequencies that match our auric biorhythm system. So it's very interesting, and it is also measured scientifically. So the quartz crystal can create altered states of consciousness and can serve as a vehicle for both reaching and utilizing the talents and abilities of the mind. All of the psychic abilities can be stimulated and amplified by the use of this mineral. It further assists one in retaining calmness and clarity in all situations, decreasing the amount of negative affectation, which would inhibit our emotional stability. It provides for enhanced energy and promotes perseverance and patience, as well as for restful sleep. So if you have trouble sleeping, try putting a quartz crystal in your pillowcase or by your bed, usually within 4 feet of you. It will have a great effect. And a lot of people will actually put the quartz crystal underneath their cribs. You can also put it in between your mattress, and these will have positive effects for you. As far as negativity, if you find that you are dealing with negative mental habits, or your ego is out of control, or you're around negative energies and atmospheres, it's really good to have a quartz crystal. It will filter and purify that energy. Quartz crystals were also used in Atlantis and Lemuria for rejuvenation and in the development of a complete civilization of incredible power. The misuse of crystals is said to have induced the destructions of these civilizations. However, even though I've seen a lot of that, I do not believe that that is one of the reasons why this destruction of these civilizations took place. But as far as the lesson is, do not go into a negative state, and quartz crystals have been known to crack and break if the negativity is too strong. So if one uses the crystal energy of it with any other mineral for other purposes than for the good of all, the experience of destructive forces within one's life can be amplified. So you do have to put yourself into a more positive and heightened state if you want to connect to the magic of the clear quartz crystal. However, clear quartz crystals can be used to clear and to activate the energy centers of our body. It attunes well to the heart chakra and responds very well to the third eye. Placing the crystal at the area of the third eye during meditation seems to enable one to focus more clearly with a mind, such as letting and helping the mind become empty and clear. So for those of you that do not know how to quiet your mind, using a quartz crystal on your third eye may help. Even if you do place it and lay and relax and try to meditate with your eyes closed behind your eyelids, you would definitely see an effect that it has. So the reason why it will help clear our mind is because the quartz crystal is known to bring us the feeling of oneness that takes place during meditation. It also promotes the reflection and magnification of images and thoughts so that one may elevate the inner reaches of the self. Placement of the crystal upon the heart chakra can help clear emotional disturbances from the being. It can also further enhance the state of self-acceptance and self-love. Use the quartz crystal to activate the crown chakra has also been very effective. The spiraling effect of the energy produces a clear pathway for the movement of the Kundalini and for the access to the realm of spirituality. If, however, one has not overcome personal will and the crown chakra is opened by the quartz crystal, the available energy can produce emotional, physical, and spiritual healing for those centers. So the opening of this chakra provides a pathway for communication from the higher self. And the best results is being obtained when we are tapping into our will, our willpower. And when we are willing and open and receptive to following higher guidance. The quartz crystal will provide purification of the physical, mental, and spiritual bodies. It is also a healer of negativity associated with one's perspectives and judgments. So it can be used to focus upon the inner negativity and to stimulate positive thoughts and feelings. It can also direct one's materialistic energies towards the spiritual realm. It can further enhance the flow of and can direct one's positive thoughts and feelings toward the light, love, and harmony of the planet, teaching us to live, laugh, and love with everyone around us. The quartz crystal will induce amplification of the energy field in the location in which it resides. So having a quartz crystal in your home will bring in more amplified energy and also help connect it with positive energy. So the quartz crystal can produce a force field of healing negative energy and ions while clearing the surrounding atmosphere of positive ions. So when I'm talking about this, you don't need, a huge piece. This vibration, just a tumbled stone, is going to take about 3 days for it to disperse into the atmosphere of a single room. So you don't need to go find something that's, $3,000. You can just find whatever quartz you find is meant for you, whether you find it in a store or out in a mine yourself. Quartz crystal also tends to cancel the harmful effects of radiation and radioactivity. And that's why a lot of people will like to put it by their computer or by their microwave. Don't put it on the microwave, but you could have it within the vicinity. And whenever we wear it or carry it, it acts as a physical and mental energizer. It also enhances and protects our aura and provides for amplification of the energy field in the body. Now, placed pointing toward the crown chakra or beneath the pillow during sleep, it can also bring wisdom and clarity to our dreams and can help us understand the messages and the lessons coming to us during the dream state. If we wear it close to the neck, it can stimulate the thyroid and parathyroid glands, being helpful for respiratory problems such as congestion and sore throats. If we wear it over the heart, it can stimulate the thymus and can increase the efficiency of both the immune system and one's defenses against dis-ease. If worn over the solar plexus, it can provide for the stimulation of total body energies and can also increase one's emotional fields. This may or may not be desirable. If worn on the fingers, so say we have a quartz crystal ring, it enhances the Midas touch. If worn on the wrist as a bracelet, it provides stimulation to the meridians and represents survival and protection of the physical and emotional bodies. When we place it at the third eye, it can stimulate mental clarity, facilitating deep meditative states and activating our psychic abilities. When we wear them as earrings, quartz crystals can provide for balancing of the physical body, for alignment with the higher realms, for stabilization and balancing of all our chakras. It's also good for clearing and activating of the throat chakra and the third eye, and for synchronicity between the left and the right hemispheres of the brain. So quartz crystal earrings are amazing. A single quartz crystal carried on a person or placed in the environment will assist in maintaining balance, energy, and protection. So one way to know whether the crystal is working for you is the clearer the quartz, the cleaner the quartz. However, some certain types of quartz with inclusions are very powerful. But if you're going to be using it for the things that I've discussed, as you're wearing it, like make sure you know what the crystal, clear quartz crystal looks like. And as you're wearing it and as it's purifying this energy and getting rid of negativity and keeping you protected, you'll find that the quartz crystal will become cloudier and cloudier. And that cloudiness is everything that the quartz crystal has taken on. So it's really important for you to take a look at the quartz crystal and see how it's changed within a month or a few months. And if you do find that your quartz crystal has gotten really cloudy, then you will want to purify it. And when we purify our quartz crystals, we can do that many different ways, and I'll get into that probably in another video. You'll find that when it's purified properly, the quartz crystal will become completely clear again, and all of that cloudiness will disappear. So whether the crystal is worn, carried, or placed in an environment, the force and the warmth and the brilliance will remain attuned to the energy of the one who is connected to the quartz crystal. There has been experimentations with Kirlian photography. If you don't know what that is, you can look it up. But basically, it is a man-made type of photography that people will use to do aura photos. But there has been experimentation with Kirlian photography showing that the direction in which the point is worn will make very little difference. There is actually an overall increase in the energy field no matter which way the crystal is pointing. However, pointing the crystal up has channeled energy into the upper chakras, causing some people to be so stimulated that they felt they were leaving their bodies. So it could make some people spacey, depending on how sensitive they are. And using the crystal while positioned in this direction has been beneficial for meditation, prayer, study, and also taking tests. That's one thing that I like to do is whenever I am studying for a test, I do like to hold the quartz crystal in my hand because I know that it's imprinting the answers for me so that when I am taking that test, the answers will come easily to me. Pointing the quartz crystal down, there has been a slight grounding effect as energy is directed towards the lower body and towards the earth. So tending to maintain more efficient grounding and assisting one in remaining more in tune with the world. So you can use the quartz crystal to heighten your state, but also bring you into a natural grounding level. When we use the crystal or the point of a crystal horizontally, a small increase has been noted in the energy in front of the body, with large increases on the sides. So the Kirlian photography shows that if one holds a crystal in the receiving hand, the etheric fields of the body are at least doubled. So holding the crystal in your receiving hand is, will double that energy. Clear quartz is used extensively in meditation, spiritual development, and healing. It helps one to recognize the origin of a disease or a disease, and has been used for this purpose quite extensively by the inhabitants of Atlantis and Lemuria, but also by the Native American Indians, the African tribal systems, the ancient Egyptian culture, the Mayans and Aztecs, the Australian Aborigines, the Romans, Scots, Celts, Tibetan Buddhists, and many others during the days of the old ways. It has been used by these cultures for diagnostic healing, for raising the consciousness toward the enlightened state, and in communicating with the spirits and with those from other worlds. So a lot of people see crystal balls sitting on the psychic's table, or they'll have a crystal on the table. Well, it's because it actually does help heighten and help in the communication of the spirits and those from other worlds. Quartz and quartz crystals have been used for religious purposes since ancient times. Quartz is one of the 7 precious substances of Buddhism. It is also said to have been one of the stones used in the breastplate of the high priest. Ancient priests used quartz crystal to render negative energy impotent, to dissolve enchantments and spells, and to destroy all black magic. Romans used quartz crystals for glandular swelling, to reduce fevers, and to relieve pain. In the Scottish Highlands, a crystal set in silver and worn about the back was thought to be effective for diseases of the kidneys. In medieval times, the quartz crystal was held against the tongue to get rid of fever and also to diminish thirst. The quartz crystal can also be used in the treatment of disorders of the circulatory system. It has been used in the treatment of vertigo, to stabilize dizziness, and to promote emotional stability. Holding the crystal to an area of the skin which has been burned has eliminated pain, blistering, and any trace of the burn. A topical elixir of the quartz crystal has been quite beneficial for skin disorders. So if you soak a quartz crystal after you rub it and get it activated and put it in some spring water, you can use that to heal skin disorders. It's also good for anti-aging. And if you make the elixir and take it internally by drinking it, it has been used in the elimination of toxins from the body. It can also be used in the treatment of digestive orders and in the elimination of kidney and bladder infections or infections and dysfunctions. So I want to go into a healing technique with a quartz crystal, and the information that I'm providing are some examples that you can try. Once you have tried these techniques, the intuitive information of the inner mind will provide further techniques or ideas for you to experiment with. So since most disease which occurs in the physical body is a reflection of disruption, disharmony of the energies in our light bodies, healing can more easily occur when harmony is restored. So it is important that when you are using these crystals for healing, that you allow yourself to come into a calm, relaxed state. So the crystals will act as both a transformer and a harmonizer of energy, and it will act to focus healing energy and healing intent. So we want to produce the appropriate energy within the crystal. With one's thoughts, we can focus energy precisely where it's desired. With the additional help of the crystal, we can use this ability to stimulate healing. In many cases, the quartz crystal enables the higher self to direct the physical body to both repair and balance itself and facilitate the integration of the physical form with the perfect self. There are 4 major accepted brain wave patterns, which seem to have connective links to levels of consciousness. The advanced states are useful for healing, stimulation, and facilitation. So the beta brainwave pattern exists on the level of the conscious mind. It is initiated at 14 cycles per second and usually averages about 21 cycles per second. The alpha brain wave pattern exists on the level of the dreaming mind during the creative state and with the initiation of minimal extrasensory perception, so our ESP, cell energy renewal, and the beginning level of suggestibility for the subconscious mind. And it ranges from 7 to 14 cycles per second. Then there's the theta. So the theta brain wave pattern activates a deeper state of ESP. It is the beginning level for psychokinesis and facilitates painless energy and initiates powerful levels of suggestibility. And that ranges from 4 to 7 cycles per second. We have the delta state. So the delta brain wave pattern is usually recognized during deep sleep. During this time, all ESP and psychokinesis talents are stimulated, and the qualities of total memory and total suggestibility are instilled. And that ranges from half to 4 cycles per second. It should be noted that there is a measurable increase in alpha brainwaves after holding a quartz crystal for half an hour. Over a longer period of time, there is an increase in theta and delta brainwaves. So the process of healing when disease is viewed as a discontinuity of energy becomes simple. When there is an energy blockage in the physical body, the flow of energy to the cells of the affected area is diminished, and the related organs, tissues, and structures begin to degenerate. At this time, one usually begins to exhibit the symptoms of dis-ease. When energy returns to the inner area, building and renewal, both the pain of disease and that which is associated with energy blockages involved. Holding a crystal in the hand, which is located on the same side of the body as the pain, while holding the other hand over the painful area. And if you remain in this position until the pain begins to diminish, usually about 30 minutes, with this technique, the amplifying ability of the crystal promotes additional direction of energy to the affected area. Now, this technique, of course, is not recommended for the treatment of cancer or even headaches. But you do need to note that painkillers can interfere with the healing process by coating the nerve endings so that the signals from the cells do not reach the brain. In this case, the brain does not recognize the pain and does not recognize the need to assist. The brain does not send the energy needed, and the condition of the cells can worsen. This is one reason why painful diseases are often debilitating and progressively degenerative. The energy of the quartz crystal can be supplied to the cells such that the cells can now repair themselves by eliminating the cause of the pain because the signal is no longer necessary. So one with a fever can experience a quick restoration of normal temperature by holding a crystal in the hand of preference at arm's length and pointing the crystal away from the body. The crystal seems to both draw away and discharge the excess body heat. A headache remedy is somewhat different. Most pain needs energy to repair, but the headache is thought, in many cases, due to too much energy in the head. So energy flows in and out of the head by the crown and brow chakras. When a blockage, which is usually emotional, that occurs, the energy cannot be released and the excess pressure initiates pain. In this case, the excess energy needs to be removed. One method of removing this excess energy involves placing the quartz crystal in the hand, any hand of preference, pointing skyward, and this hand is then allowed to rest on the solar plexus or the navel chakra. Placing the other hand on the headache pain, this hand can be used to remove the excess energy from the head and to transfer it to the solar plexus or the navel chakra. Upon arrival at the chakra area, the energy would produce a supplemental energy which is applied toward total balancing of the body. This can take approximately 30 minutes to complete. To speed the process, one may close the eyes and picture the headache as a dark cloud of excess energy, visualizing the removal hand as a giant vacuum cleaner which is dissipating the cloud. Watch until the cloud is gone and then allow the eyes to open. Upon completion of the technique and relief of pain, remember to breathe deeply for several moments and to thank the universe for perfecting yourself. I want to share with you an example of an American Indian method of holding or of healing with crystals. So I am part Native American, Ojibwa, and my grandfather was a medicine man. And I find that many people in my family do believe in the healing properties of the crystals. So here's an example of a Native American healing method with the crystal. So you will be the healer with the crystal. And the first thing you want to do is you want to breathe upon the crystal. So you want to breathe on it and remove and short circuit any ambient negative forces. So when we take the crystal and we breathe on it, we are giving it our connection and cleansing it, and any negative forces then leaves because our energy goes into the crystal and overtakes it. Then we want to initiate a mental connection through the third eye to the crystal. Then initiate a mental connection through the third eye to the healing spirits working with you. The third step is the person requesting the healing places the hand of preference between the hands of the healer, yet not touching these hands. Okay, so they put their hands between and they don't touch the hands. The crystal is in the hand of preference of the healer and is pointing toward the palm of the hand of preference of the subject. Number 4, the healer rotates the crystal counterclockwise towards the palm of the hand of preference of the subject. Then the 5th step, the subject is asked to feel the influencing energy from the crystal. When this is acknowledged, the healer rotates the crystal clockwise. The subject is asked to determine which position of the crystal conveys the energy which feels more compatible. This is an attunement process for adjusting to the specific needs of the subject that's being healed. The 6th step is at that point, which feels most compatible, the crystal is positioned, not touching the hand, but in a position which allows the current from the crystal to be directed mentally to the affected area of the body. The healer continues to allow the energy to channel through him or her, not giving away his or her own energy until he or she feels the energy level change, or until the subject feels it's enough. And this healing should take place for about 20 minutes. The other thing is you can do this for yourself, pointing the crystal directly to the affected area or sending it through the hand, which is not the hand of preference to the desired body location. There are many different types of crystals that I want to get into, all of them being quartz crystal. But one of them that I would like to get into is a bridge crystal. And on this video, I'll post a photo of the different types of crystals that I'm talking about. But the bridge quartz crystal is recognized by a small crystal which penetrates and is located partially in and partially out of a larger crystal. And it facilitates bridging between the inner and outer worlds. between the self and others, and between the self and other worlds. So the crystal aids in expressing that which one experiences when one is becoming more familiar with the self. It's quite beneficial when one is working with the aspects of spirituality and with the advanced metaphysical areas and attempting to share this knowledge with others. It's also beneficial for public speakers who lecture on topics concerning new ideas and new concepts. The bridge quartz crystal is also useful for all types of teaching, promoting communication and understanding between teacher and student. So if you can find a bridge crystal, make sure you grab it. Let's go into a channeling quartz. So the channeling quartz crystal is recognized by the configuration of a large 7-sided face located in the center front position of the terminated end of the crystal. So terminated end means the point of the crystal. A triangle face is located on the opposite backside of the crystal. And again, I have a diagram that will show you that. The 7 of the one crystal face represents precision within the intuitive realm of the higher mind and the analytical understanding inherent in the mental and physical bodies. It is symbolic of the student, the professor, the mystic, and the seeker of wisdom. The 3-sided triangle on the opposing side provides for creative and innovative verbalization of inner truths. The 3 represents the both prerogative and the power of speech and the ability to both creatively and joyously express the self. In this configuration, the 7 represents the accessibility of innate wisdom, and the 3 represents the ability of manifestation and verbal communication. The combination represents initiative and the interdependence between the world of the self and the perfection of all that is. The channeling crystal provides for a means of channeling and expressing truth and wisdom from both the inner realms of perfection and other worlds. It provides for a conscious connection to the higher wisdom which is available from the higher self, and or to the wisdom of experience and enlightenment which is available from the other side. The channeling crystals can be used to access the wisdom from within and without. They can be used to bring forth light and love from the most truthful and knowledgeable portions of the self. Sometimes there can be an encounter with other entities from whom one can learn. Always check the information given by the entity with a personal inner knowing. Of course, when I'm talking about channeling with entities, the information would always be positive, because positive energy and knowledge and guidance is what we receive from higher realms of existence. If it is not positive, then we are dealing with a mundane spirit or a mental impression that is in the atmosphere and connected to our world. So these channeling crystals can be used for meditation, allowing one to gain both inner clarity and wisdom. We can use them to facilitate specific answers to specific questions. We can use it to gain information in a specific area, and with record keepers to access stored information. One method for using the channeling crystal is to first sit quietly, initiate circular breathing, and call upon protection and guidance, surrounding the self with white light and affirming that the results of the session and the forthcoming information will be for the good of all. A channeler who feels fatigued after a session has had his or her vital energy used by an entity who is less evolved and who could only have participated in the activity of the affirmation of for the good of all, and the protection of white light or other mechanisms were not utilized. It is very important to remember that we all have within us the knowledge that we seek. Now hold the crystal in the receiving hand and allow the mind to quiet. Continue the circular breathing and meditate upon the precepts involving love, wisdom, peace, and unity. Identify with the concepts and allow the inner understanding to encompass your total being. Visualize a pure, clear blue light beaming into the throat chakra. Visualize an indigo or a deep purple shimmering light at the third eye. Verbally request the light and wisdom of all that is to accompany, guide, and protect during your activity. Now either hold the seven-sided face to the third eye while continuing the breathing and focus at the third eye, or place the crystal termination between the index and middle fingers of the hand with a seven-sided face toward the thumb. Allow the thumb to rest on the seven-sided face. Close the eyes and allow the information to flow into the conscious mind. The impressions, symbols, images, feelings, or thoughts received should be acknowledged and expressed without any doubt or distrust. Do not intellectualize or think about the information. After the attunement has been refined, one may consciously choose to link the mind to entities who are present and to receive the transmission of information from one more singularity. One is cautioned to maintain personal identity while allowing the entity to express. Now we will talk about the cluster. So if you have a quartz crystal cluster, the cluster of the quartz crystal is recognized by the occurrence of crystals formed in a cluster. And they serve to bring the group energy of the associated crystal to the surrounding environment, enhancing harmony and peace in groups, in the family, and in other social and or business environments. So clusters are really good to have in your home or on your desk when you're at work. The energy generated is directly proportional to the number of crystals within the cluster. They have also been used to activate and to cleanse other stones and minerals, to enhance and to increase the energy of other stones, and to activate the properties of them. Okay. Let's see what else I can go into. Let's talk about the double terminated quartz crystal. So a double terminated quartz crystal are multifunctional. The energy moves outwards in either direction or in both directions concurrently. They have the capacity to draw or to transmit energy through both ends. So a double terminated quartz crystal has a point on both ends of the crystal. Doubles are excellent for astral projection and for dreaming. If you place them under your pillow at night, they can increase and intensify the dream state. They are also excellent to use in meditation. They can also be used to assist in providing one protection from mental and physical harm. Carrying a double terminated crystal can enable one to maintain one's energy shield. They also symbolize patience and perseverance. This is quite important during healing situations. In addition, they have been used to remove sickness from the body to a location which transforms the disorder from negativity to positive energy. The location is predetermined and is, for example, a black hole which is filled with white light. So if you know that there is a type of hole in your aura, a double terminated is the best crystal to use to fill that hole. The celestial. So the celestial quartz crystal is recognized by natural terminations over the body and face of an etched and or layered crystal. It is the enchanted crystal, bringing with it the concept of Shiva and the understanding that after transition from one's phase of life or from the physical body, the newness will be reinstalled. It provides the user with a hug from the wind in the willow, allowing for flow in change and actualization. These crystals can be used to assist one in overcoming emotional burdens, to bring the heart and the intellect into synchronicity, and to help one look within and to find the love that has always been there. They stimulate the actualization of the conscious self, allowing for precipient recall of astute action, while exhibiting the conscious alignment of the spiritual realm and assisting one in access of same. The celestial carries an inherent memory of that which was in existence prior to the development of humanity. It can be used to help one to become aware of the immortality of the spiritual being within the self and to enhance one's life in this plane of reality. It further assists one in the comprehension of the processes of life and the levels of death. It serves to provide an entrance to information concerning the past, present, and future of one's personal existence. The celestial contains the absolute and ultimate essential wisdom and can provide for transfer of this insight to the physical intellect by the higher self. By holding an celestial in the hand of preference, after centering and attaining the inner emptying of the mind, one may stroke the etching or the layers with the index finger on the other hand. This procedure can then be used to bring one into alignment with the wisdom of the universe. It also helps us in translating the information and facilitates an understanding of that which is communicated. The information provided brings forth knowledge with respect to the essential state of the body and the essential state of being in this and other lives. It helps to provide the connection to the insight and realization that one can both love and embrace each worldly and otherworldly experiences. Gazing into the crystal after centering and emptying the mind, it helps to show one the ways available to enable the going within one's being. After gazing, one may close the eyes and access the subconscious self, accepting information to assist one in examination of that which lies behind the reality of the time. The celestial can be used to both sustain and maintain one during changes, helping to prepare one for transformation and allowing for the penetration of the hidden layers of cause, which support the states of distress and disease. It further assists one in releasing the cause, decreasing or eliminating the effect. It helps one to understand that any control is personal control, and that in order to actualize one's full potential, the state of personal action is required. The celestial can be used to stabilize brainwave frequencies and to ameliorate erratic and or confused thoughts. It can further assist in producing an expanded state of awareness and in encouraging energy to speed one toward the light. It assists one in summoning vitality in order to produce advancement toward the eternal brilliance of the spiritual self. The celestial can be used to stimulate the chakras and to bring forth information which has been blocked. It can help to release the blockages and to provide an unobstructed pathway leading toward the retrieval of information relevant to the state of one's being, whether it's the past, present, or the future. It assists in enhancing one's awareness of that which needs to be assessed or released from the emotional and intellectual bodies. It provides insight into those conditions which hinder the experience, into the validity of one's state of being, and into the concerns relative to the reality which one has chosen to encounter. After centering and relaxation, when the celestial is held and used for meditation or placed upon the body, it will first provide a view or a message concerning which needs to be cleared. It will subsequently assist in the removal and dissipation of any confusion and prejudgmental ideas, so that one may maintain a dispassionate, impartial, and composed attitude in order to acknowledge and assimilate the information. The celestial has been used in medicine wheel ceremonies to reach the ancestral spirits and to provide the channeling for the integral knowledge regarding the question of the participants. It provides for both receipt and dissemination of information dependent upon the consciousness and loving state of the user. It assists one in the art of communication and in verbalization of the state of the emotions. At the time of the state occurs, it assists one in the recognition of the way one actually feels, both emotionally and physically, helping to stimulate the power of personal expression and personal potential. The energy of the celestial is intensified at the locations of the energy vortexes of the earth and can be of great assistance in the mass cleansing, healing, and reawakening of the global consciousness of the planet. An example of a procedure which may be used when the celestial is to be part of a healing is as follows. After attuning to the crystal, look within the self and ask whether the celestial should be used at this time. If so, ask the subject of the healing, or the subject could be yourself, and if there is a willingness to see the hidden cause behind the distress. Then hold the hand of the subject, allowing the celestial and, if available, a Herkimer diamond to rest between the palms of these hands. This furthers the attunement of the celestial to the self and to the subject, and additionally provides for integration between the celestial and the Herkimer as the self and the subject. The celestial can assist in activating and furthering the activities of the third eye and can stimulate and increase in abilities associated with clairvoyance, clairaudience, and clairsentience. It can also be used to assist one in access to information relevant to the karmic burdens incurred during past lives, helping one to both recognize and understand the easy lessons which can cancel the karma. It can further be used to access future lives and to understand that which must be accomplished in this life in order to eliminate the need to repeat harsh lessons. It can be used to facilitate access to shared past or future lives between two or more people. One method of accessing this information is by first initiating circular breathing while holding hands with the other and looking within the self. Next, place the celestial between the palms of one set of the hands while still maintaining the position of holding hands. Now allow the mind to become open and receptive for pictures, words, voices, or visions which may appear. The celestial has also been used in the treatment of epilepsy, schizophrenia, and drug-related burnout. It can assist in the restoration of emotional and intellectual stability. It can further be used to diminish vertigo and symptoms associated with physical imbalances within the body. Now we will move to a generator. So the generator quartz would be the first photo that I have on the little photo that I've got. It's the first one, and it just says crystal point. But the generator quartz is recognized by a configuration of 6 crystal phases joining together to form the terminated point. The crystal is the quartz crystal for energy generation. So it's a point where all of the sides of the point are the same, and there's usually 6. It is quite useful for energy magnification and for stimulating all portions of the physical, intellectual, emotional, spiritual, and subtle bodies. It has been used to cleanse the chakras and to get rid of any voids or any negative energies which are contained with positive, radiant, white light. It is sometimes placed in the center of a group, while the group is involved in healing or spiritual work in order to facilitate the connection with the energy between all members. It is quite useful in the healing configuration called the Star of David to generate the abundance of energy available. Excellent results are received when a small generator crystal is used as a pendulum. The generator crystal has also been used to rectify localized energy disturbances. It acts to dissipate the disturbance and to replace any disorganized energy with a stable, authoritative energy which discourages further disorder. Natural generators and crystals polished in the configuration of generators have the same properties. They are truly powerful tools for any spiritual or metaphysician. Let's do next. I want to do, we have manifestation. So a manifestation crystal is a crystal that has a complete crystal inside of it. So the manifestation quartz crystal is recognized by a smaller crystal totally enclosed within the larger crystal. These crystals are quite rare and usually very expensive. So if you do find one, grab it. The use of the manifestation crystal requires the inner knowledge that one is a clear and perfect channel, that a pure white light allows the guiding way, and that the purity of the divine is within the inner self. If there is something that one wishes to manifest, the relevant questions are, do I really want this? Are there reasons that I may not want this? Or are there any reasons I may not want this? If part of the person does not or does want something, the crystal will not facilitate manifestation. Pardon me. What I meant to say is if parts of the person do not want something, the crystal will not facilitate manifestation because it's receiving mixed messages. One must clear any feelings and inner turmoil before they use this crystal. So one procedure which is quite effective in the use of the manifestation crystal is as follows. Meditate with a crystal, clear the mind, initiate your breathing and relax. Concentrate on the base chakra, the third eye, the navel chakra, or the area located 2 inches below the navel. Visualize that which is desired and bring it consciously into a clear mental picture. And feel the emotions associated with the actualization into reality of the visualization. These crystals can also be used to facilitate artistic creativity, creative thinking, and to increase or decrease, depending on the direction of the energy, any aspect of one's life. So they're pretty cool. I like to use the manifestation crystal. I've put it on papers that I write, what I want to manifest. You can have it sitting on your altar with the manifestation quartz above. Let's see. What else do I have? Let's go into the record keeper. So the record keeper crystal is recognized by one or several perfect triangles located on one or more of the crystal faces. It should be noted that the quartz crystal is not the only crystal which the record keeper, for example, there are rubies have record keepers. Lemurian crystals have record keepers as well. So you want to look for a raised type triangle anywhere on the crystal. So the record keeper is a crystal within which wisdom is stored. When one properly attunes to this crystal, the ancient knowledge and profound secrets of the universe can be psychically retrieved. These crystals have been consciously and purposely programmed by the beings who created the energies which have culminated in the actualization of life on this plane, and by their direct descendants. So there's many legends about the Atlanteans and the Lemurians using record keeper quartz. So the purpose of accessing information from the record keeper is to provide one with information concerning the origin of the human race, the human soul, and all that exists or has existed in one's reality, to facilitate the actualization of each person as a healing agent for humanity and the environment, and to allow one to incorporate higher knowledge, wisdom, peace, and love into this and other worlds. Only those with open minds and pure hearts can access the information by attunement of the consciousness and the inner energies of the crystal. The information provided by the record keeper enhances one's light, provides for a deeper access to personal wisdom, and promotes a greater peace to be used in this world. The three of the triangles located upon the face of the crystal represent perfect balance achieved when the physical, mental, and emotional aspects of one's being is aligned with the love and purity of the highest spirituality. The triangle shape of the doors which lead to the records also symbolizes the third eye, the creation and preservation of the state of perfection, which serves as a pathway toward the enlightened state. The information stored within the record keeper could be relevant or non-relevant to physical life on Earth. One must open and willing to accept all information, even those concepts which one would judge as inconceivable, and must be capable, as we all are, of processing the information and applying it to this physical life. The record keeper crystal is usually a personal meditation crystal. Meditation with the crystal is easily accomplished by placing a triangle upon the third eye. Subsequent to this placement, close the eyes, still, and open the mind. Initiate breathing, relax, and be prepared to receive the information. Another method of accessing information is to activate the triangle by rubbing the thumbnail across the triangle from top to bottom. This provides the opening and closing off the source is accomplished by the opposite manipulation. If one is meant to experience a record keeper, the universe will provide it. The record keeper, which comes to you, contains the information which will be beneficial to your personal development, or it will provide information which will assist you in helping another person. Let's do the next one. Let's see what else I have. The twin. So we'll do the twin crystal next. So the twin quartz crystal is recognized as a growing together of two or more individual crystals that certain portions of each crystal are in parallel alignment, and or portions of each crystal are in reverse positions with aspects to each other. So just imagine, it's on the photo, but just imagine two crystals growing side by side and they're attached. So the twin quartz crystal facilitates the building of relationships on all levels, acting to encourage encounters with the soulmates present during this lifetime. It helps one to create a balance such that the outer manifestation of the inner being are not in opposition and are manifested as movements of the same energy flow. The crystal promotes the recognition that love gives freedom, bringing the relative synthesis of love and freedom to the level of understanding which is inherent in the spiritual plane. The twin crystal is also useful for melding the consciousness of groups and for promotion of universal laws. Next, we'll do an inclusion quartz. So it is a quartz cluster with inclusions inside. And when someone is attracted to an included quartz, the quartz inclusions will work with the person to provide the further nourishment and qualities required. Usually the chlorite and or hematite within the quartz provide the most powerful healing type of included quartz. So you'll either see red or white inclusions in it. Each inclusion in the quartz provides the extra properties of that included mineral to work hand in hand with the properties of the quartz. So when we have an included quartz, it stimulates communication and psychic awareness on all levels. It dispels resentment and frustrations and helps to facilitate intelligibility with respect to mental perception. It induces one to persist in endeavors and in situations which would generally diminish one's fortitude. It further elevates the conscious connection between the higher levels of instinct and heartfelt emotion, producing compassion in both discussions and in resolutions. It has been used in the treatment of disorders of the veins, the skeletal system, and the nervous system. It is also helps and has been used to assist in the repair of broken bones. It allows one to recognize the inner bonds with the outer world and to also both acknowledge and comprehend the spiritual connection between the self and the universe. I want to go into the phantom quartz. So the phantom quartz is recognized by phantom crystals within the crystal. So they actually look like ghostly points. And the phantom is usually comprised of a white or colored mineral, and it may be partial or totally a complete phantom inside. The phantoms within a crystal provide an indication of the experiences and the transformations which the crystal has encountered during its evolution. The phantom crystal has experienced numerous lifetimes of learning and being while continuing in the same physical configuration. The crystal represents the many phases and the many types of life which may be experienced during one's lifetime. It symbolizes universal awareness. It is one of the earth stones used for the redemption and cleansing of the earth. The energy of the phantom works to bring together the participants of humanity to help save the planet. The structure within the crystal exhibits triangular and pyramidal formations with likeness of mountains. These formations emanate the energy to save, to renew, and to facilitate the spiritual health of the earth. The phantom allows the earth to recall how it was prior to the initiation of destruction, allowing for smoothness and earth changes during its corrective process. Both polished and unpolished crystals are excellent energy sources for initiation of the healing. In fact, the beauty of the polished phantom assists in instilling the magnificence of the perfect, undisturbed state of the original form. It is an excellent tool for meditation and for assisting one in connecting with the higher realms of knowledge. It can be used to access the records of one's progression through past lives. To access past lives with a phantom quartz, sit quietly, focus on your breathing and relax, and attune to the crystal. Gaze within the phantom portion of the crystal, then close your eyes and allow an after image to travel into the inner mind or to the area of the third eye, and allow the mind to travel through the personal memories and to track the history of the soul back to the creation. Utilization of these stones to facilitate access to past lives allows one to see these past lives in a state of ascension rather than in a state of reality where one is, again, the participant. The mineral within the quartz, comprising of the phantom, can act to facilitate the altered states when the crystal is used in past life ascension. In addition, it provides further energy in healing the emotional and physical situations which may be of consequence to the inner knowledge, as it is brought to actualization by the ascension. The phantom crystal can also be used to assist one in meeting a personal spiritual guide. After surrounding the self in protection of the purity of the white light, entry into the crystal can be accomplished. One may enter the crystal by gazing and holding the crystal to the area of the third eye, or by a meditative state, walking through the area of the phantom or the garden of the light. Finding a place to rest quietly, one may wait until the spirit guide walks down the path to visit. The wise, compassionate being knows the past, present, and future. You may approach face to face and meld with the being. Of course, spirit guides are always positive. They have nothing negative to say. It is quite excellent to use when talking about personal issues with and when asking questions of spirit guides. One should wait the answers and expect sometimes words, sometimes writing, sometimes pictures or recognition that will be understood. Always give appreciation to the advisor and make arrangements to meet again. It's quite helpful to evaluate the information when you return from the journey and to take appropriate action on the information that you received. Phantom crystals have also been used in the treatment of hearing disorders and to stimulate clairaudience. Let's do the geode crystal now. The geode is recognized usually by a spherical configuration, which contains a cavity lined with crystal-like structures growing towards the center. It's usually configured in the form of a closed shell, usually containing quartz, amethyst, citrine, or calcite, and particularly filled with crystals projecting to the hollow interior. It is separated from the usual limestone or mud matrix by a film of clay. The geode structure itself exhibits several properties in addition to the properties of the contained minerals. The geode also allows one to both recognize and analyze the total picture prior to decision making. It allows one the freedom to mold and to shape one's own future and assists one in attaining highly effective communication skills. It furthers one's connection to the higher forces and the higher planes, stimulating the bridge of association with those of like pursuits. It can also be used in the treatment of disorders associated with the hands, lungs, and nervous system. The geode is known as the stone of freedom. It is traditionally used to help one to both recognize and analyze the total picture. It allows one the freedom to communicate. Geodes are used to draw negativity, pain, and energy blocks out of the body, out of a house, out of our aura and environment. And once it's cleaned, it helps purify the area. The Isis crystal is what we'll be doing next. And the Isis crystal has a strong focus and gentle nurturing. It has been used to balance both the female and male energies. It's named after the Egyptian goddess because their energy is also associated with the nurturing of female wisdom, and the nurturing nature of these crystals is very helpful in the healing of emotional hurt and distress. The Isis quartz will allow one to feel and show empathy for other people's problems, yet not get caught up in the emotional turmoil, helping one to become a rock in the storm. The four sides of the Isis quartz represents the four elements of earth, fire, water, and wind. The fifth side represents ourselves. Meditating with an Isis crystal helps one to bring in balance with and better integrate the elements into our life. Many say it is among the most powerful crystals. They are not too difficult to find out there. However, they say that they have been around for thousands of years. It is believed that an Isis crystal will put you in touch with feminine energy, the unselfish side of ourself, and the power of the goddess. It is said to trigger our inner power and strength, which promotes self-healing and growth. They say that it's been said that the Isis quartz crystal embodies all the lessons and archetypes portrayed within the tale of Isis and all of her feats, to facilitate a master of self-healing and self-nurturing, uniting with love. So they are powerful heart healers and intuitive guides. Now we'll do the aggregator crystal, which many people also known as spirit quartz. So the aggregator crystal has lots of very small crystals growing around it. It's a very powerful stone. Each of the tiny crystals radiates energy, and with all of the crystals working together in harmony, they radiate to a very strong vibration. The spirit quartz or aggregator crystals can be in a variety of colors. The amethyst spirit quartz or aggregator crystal is more common and easier to find. So the aggregator crystal carries the vibration of universal law or universal love. It will assist you to let go of issues you have been holding on to, and it will help you forgive yourself and other people. They radiate a very high vibration, and they may align and purify the entire chakra system. They're used to open the third eye, the crown chakra, and the higher crown chakra or soul star chakra. They have the ability to align the lower self with the higher self and manifest into your life these spiritual attributes associated with those two selves. They are powerful stones to heighten metaphysical abilities and will assist you with your ascension process, and they are used to activate the light body. These crystals are also used to help you let go of fear and help you find peace of mind. They will help contact you with your higher self and to heal any old issues you have previously been unable to release. They get rid of old issues from past lives that may come to your attention. And especially when you're meditating with the stone or using it, if a past life does come up, then that is an old issue that has just been healed and released. The stone is very helpful for spiritual retrieval. It is also a stone to assist anyone who may be facing death, and it may aid the journey of the spirit of the dying, helping them to make their way more easily into, more easily connected to those waiting on the other side. It is a good crystal for your overall development of your spirituality and health. The higher self often has parts that are not currently within our awareness, and they are not far from this incarnation. So when we use a spirit quartz, it will help alleviate any negative attributes and move you toward a more fulfilling overall journey. If there's any gaps in your light bodies or your chakras are blocked, the aggregator crystal will assist in healing those issues. If you put it under your pillow, it will help your night's sleep be more peaceful, and it has the ability to intensify and increase dreaming. If you use it at your crown chakra, it will assist you to heal this area and may aid in your development of the abilities associated with the crown chakra. It does help you work with your spirit guides and to communicate better with them. Using this will allow you to be more decisive in your decisions about your spiritual journey. It will cleanse the aura, and it's a powerful stone or powerful crystal for psychic protection. It has the ability to repel negative attachments or entities and will bring you freedom from any fear you may feel when you're thinking about a psychic attack. It's also a protective stone for your home, especially with the electromagnetic buildups. It also helps you truly understand how to stay and stand in your own power, and has the ability to ground you. The crystal will help resolve any type of conflict and bring in peace, and will restore ourself and our self-esteem. So it's an excellent stone for healing. I hope you enjoyed this video of the quartz crystal and all of the properties associated with the different types of crystal. If you have, please like my video, subscribe to my channel, and thank you for your support. Thank you for listening. Many blessings to you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.